Today, an FDA approval and 2 priority reviews in bladder cancer, highlights from the 2017 European Cancer Congress, a European approval in lung cancer, and ASCO announces its Cancer Advance of the Year. Welcome to Enclave News Network, I'm Gina Columbus. The FDA has granted an accelerated approval to nivolumab for the treatment of patients with locally advanced, unresectable, or metastatic urothelial carcinoma following progression on a platinum-based regimen. The approval is based on results from the Phase 2 CheckMate 275 trial, in which the objective response rate was 19.6% with nivolumab in patients with platinum-refractory metastatic disease. Additionally, the median progression-free survival was 2.0 months and the median overall survival was 8.74 months. After a median follow-up of 7 months, 24.4% of patients remained on treatment. The median duration of response was not yet reached, and 76.9% of responses were ongoing at the time of the analysis, and the median time to response was 1.9 months. Finally, the complete response, partial response, and stable disease rates were 2.3%, 17.4%, and 22.6%. Also in bladder cancer, the FDA granted priority reviews to supplemental biologics license applications for pembrolizumab for use as a first and second-line therapy for patients with locally advanced or metastatic urothelial cancer. The frontline application, which is for cisplatin-ineligible patients, is based on data from the Phase 2 KEYNOTE-052 trial. Results showed that the objective response rate with pembrolizumab was 24%, including a 6% complete response rate. After a median follow-up of 8 months, the median duration of response was not yet reached, and 83% of patients responded to therapy for more than 6 months. The second-line application is for patients who progress following platinum-containing chemotherapy. This application is based on findings from the Phase 3 KEYNOTE-045 study, in which single-agent pembrolizumab reduced the risk of death by 27% versus chemotherapy in patients with advanced urothelial carcinoma whose disease progressed after prior treatment. The median overall survival for patients receiving pembrolizumab was 10.3 months versus 7.4 months for those who received a chemotherapy regimen. The difference resulted in a hazard ratio of 0.73. Also, the survival benefit was observed regardless of PD-L1 expression status. The FDA is scheduled to make a final decision on both applications on or before June 14, 2017. The European Cancer Congress was recently held in Amsterdam, highlighting exciting clinical trial results across an array of tumor types. One study presented demonstrated that an immunohistochemistry analysis of a large patient population showed that several subtypes of difficult-to-treat sarcomas might respond to PD-1 antibodies. Findings of a second study pointed to the promise of the CDK4/6 inhibitor ribociclib, in which the agent, in combination with letrozole, demonstrated clinical benefits and safety profiles for both elderly and younger patients with hormone receptor-positive, HER2-negative advanced breast cancer. Researchers concluded that these data point to a shift in the treatment paradigm for the future management of these patients, which moves from the current standard of care, letrozole, to letrozole plus ribociclib. Ribociclib received a priority review designation by the FDA in November 2016 as first-line treatment of postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative advanced or metastatic breast cancer in combination with letrozole. With 5 agents approved in 2016 alone, immunotherapy continues to revolutionize the treatment paradigms for a number of different cancers. Recognizing the impact that these agents have had over the past year, the American Society of Clinical Oncology named Immunotherapy 2.0 as the Advance of the Year in its Clinical Cancer Advances 2017, ASCO's annual report on progress against cancer, which is published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology. Clinical Cancer Advances also highlights some other groundbreaking advances in the field of cancer, including precision medicine, liquid biopsies, and new tools that help bridge the gaps between patients and their doctors. The report, which is released annually, explains that federal research funding is a major driver in the fight against cancer. Now, in light of World Cancer Day, oncologists and researchers are reaching out to lawmakers regarding sustained annual increases for the developments that will help fight the disease. Congress recently approved increases for the National Institutes of Health and National Cancer Institute for 2017. However, ASCO maintains that continued increases are imperative to keep up with inflation and ensure that progress continues to be made. Also, the NIH still has less purchasing power than it did 10 years ago. ASCO is hoping that the new Congress and Trump administration will change this and provide at least $34.1 billion for the NIH in the 2017 fiscal year. That's all for today. Thank you for watching Enclave News Network. I'm Gina Columbus.